What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Brooke Valentine, and you're about to check out my session on AOL, so come on in.
There she go talking her mess, all around town making me stress.
What up, guys? It's your boy Ali, and welcome to Hip Hop Forever. When Brooke Valentine began her career, she was regarded as one of the bright lights in R&B. The girl could sing, and as far back as the early 2000s, her talent was quite evident. As a child, Brooke had the support of her family to stay on the music. She sang in the church choir every Sunday and dropped beats on the playground at school. Brooke got her first start in the music game when she became a member of the female group Best Kept Secret, where she soon discovered, like most talented singers, that she could make it big if she tried to go solo. Around 2004, Brooke Valentine moved to Los Angeles to chase a music career as a solo artist. After moving to Los Angeles, she quickly got signed to Virgin Records through Subliminal Entertainment, which was headed by its CEO and producer, Deja the Great. Brooke got a deal, and the future looked mighty bright, and it became even brighter when she released her debut single titled Girl Fight in 2005. The single was produced by Little John, and it was an incredible success.
Ever met Little John?
I went to Miami and worked with him. He made the beat right in front of me. You know, we was working together.
Nice.
She said the following about the creation of the record. He created the beat in the middle of a party at his house in Miami. Here he is in the middle of his living room on his keyboard. He was so professional and quick. The single made a lot of noise, peaking at number 23 on Billboard's Hot 100. As a breakout artist with a buzzing single on the US charts, Brooke's career started to take off. As we all know by now, Brooke Valentine was only able to put out one official studio album, and after that, she started to release less and less music. So the question is, what happened to Brooke Valentine? Why was she only able to release one album throughout her career? And what is she up to now? Let's dig in and find out.
Because after I had my son and I realized how beautiful life was and how we could have lost our lives and we were still here.
Right.
And on the musical part, I had a lot of personal thoughts, but on the musical side, I realized that I was and is remembered for Girl Fight.
Right.
And not that that's a bad thing,
right,
but that's not all of me.
Now, Brooke definitely had a message, and what better way to tell it than to write it in the form of a chain letter. Writing on the back of her successful debut single, Brooke geared up to release her very first project, an album she claimed that she had been writing for a very long time. In an interview, she said the following: "I feel like I've been recording my album all my life." At this point, she was definitely putting in the work, and Subliminal Entertainment together with Virgin Records had her back all the way. Brooke Valentine released her first album titled Chain Letter. The project was such a big tree in the forest as it debuted at number 16 on the Billboard 200, selling 42,000 copies in the first week. Hell-bent on keeping the momentum going, Miss Valentine released her second single titled Long As You Come Home. Evidently, it didn't do as well as her first single, Girl Fight. I do feel like the monster that was and is Girl Fight, it took over in such a way. I always say that Girl Fight was like a big truck, and I'm trying to catch it, but I'm on a skateboard, so I'm running after it. I remember the first time hearing Girl Fight on the radio, like sporadically, and then the next day hearing it everywhere I went, and on the radio all day. With that being said, it was kind of like a blessing and a curse. It took off so fast, and with Chain Letter being so diverse, and having so many different feelings on it, I do feel like it created a situation where a lot of fans expected something different from Chain Letter. Now, if you compare both singles, Girl Fight is more crunk-oriented, while Long As You Come Home is more of a pop-style radio hit with Toni Braxton vibes. Both songs offered the fans a quick preview of the album. Unlike most artists, Brooke didn't mind experimenting with different genres of music. Some songs give us that 80s funk feel, and there's also crunk, rock and R&B influences there too. Now, one critique her second single had was the message. It speaks of a woman who is willing to stay with a lying man as long as he comes back to her. Not the best message in the world, but this is real life for some women out there, and some of them could relate to it. Another critique was directed at her album and first single. When people heard Girl Fight, they assumed the whole album was going to have the same vibe. Evidently it didn't, and this put off some people. At this point in her career, Brooke Valentine was still getting a lot of placements. Her management was able to put her in touch with Fabulous and Yo-Yo for the Roll Bounce movie soundtrack titled Boogie Oogie Oogie, where Brooke lent her vocals. The movie wasn't a huge success. With a budget of $10 million, it made $17 million. Regardless of sales, appearing on the soundtrack was a good look for Brooke. Now, things started to go wrong for the young singer when she released her third single titled Cover Girl.
Little blush, not too much. Baby, you'll notice.
song tells a story of a woman who wants to be a cover girl for her man. It was a smooth ballad, but the single was only partially released and didn't even make it to radio for airplay. In essence, Brooke's third single was not promoted very well. After dropping a hot album, Miss Valentine was on a roll. She was a sensation. However, eventually it came time for her to get back in the booth once again. Brooke geared up to release her second studio album titled Physical Education by dropping the lead single titled D-Girl, featuring Pimp C. The song got on the charts, but only managed to peak at number 92 on Billboard's R&B hip-hop US single charts. Was Brooke losing momentum? Had she lost her mojo and ability to chart higher? Well, her second single titled Pimped Out, featuring them franchise boys, addressed the elephant in the room. Ultimately, the single failed to make a lot of noise. As if her falling chart numbers were not enough, Brooke's second album kept getting pushed back and was eventually put on pause indefinitely due to a merger deal between Virgin Records and Capitol Records. Around 2009, Subliminal Entertainment, under the direction of Deja the Great, managed to get some of her masters from the album and released it as a mixtape titled Physical Education Mixtape. When asked about Virgin Records, Brooke pretty much explained that it was a zombie land. They revamped, fired everybody, and replaced her staff. That was the beginning of it. Somebody called me and said, "Everybody that was working on your project just got fired." I was like, "What do you mean?" They were like, "Yes, they totally revamped. Everybody is new. You're going to get a call from this person and that person." It was just so much. It's almost like someone divorcing you and you're not getting any warnings. You think you're going on a date and they're like, "No, the divorce is final," and you're like, "What divorce?" It was kind of like that. Evidently, Brooke's second album was met with obstacles. However, over time it became apparent that her label situation was the least of her worries. Brooke's cousin got murdered, sending her into a place of self-doubt. She started to feel overworked and wondered what life would be like for her if she stopped working and went home to be with her family. After that, she decided to take a step back from making music and as a result became more family-oriented, giving birth to a baby boy. I was working on the Dope Girl record and my cousin was murdered. At that time, it just brought something out of me. I felt like I've been working and working for 2 years straight and only being home 2 months in 2 years. I just felt very detached from reality and family. I just wanted to stop. I called everyone and was like, I just want to go home. I want to sleep on my brother's couch. I want to eat Cheerios. I want my mom to make me a gumbo. And I just want to lay in her bed and let her sing to me. Everybody looked at me crazy like, "You're at the height of your career. Everything is moving. Everybody knows your name. What do you mean you want to take a break?" I just felt like in my heart personally, that was the right thing to do. And I don't regret 1 second of it. Within that break, I was blessed with a son. I felt like if I hadn't taken that break, it would have never happened. Now around 2012, Brooke Valentine took on a new alias, rebranding herself as B Valentine, and released the music video for her song, Insanity. At this point, Brooke was motivated and instantly began to cook up a new album titled Forever. Naturally, the first single off the album was titled Forever, and was released on Valentine's Day. She also dropped a follow-up single collaborating with Tyrese called Rub It In. Nonetheless, the album was held back and eventually it got replaced with a new project. Instead of dropping Forever, Brooke dropped an EP titled Love Letters. The first single from the EP is titled Don't Wanna Be in Love. Baby, and for the first time in about 6 years, Brooke found her way back onto the US charts. The new single peaked at number 29 on Billboard's Adult R&B charts, gaining the star some attention and much needed traction. Following the success of her new single and release of her EP, Brooke Valentine landed on VH1's hit reality TV series Love and Hip Hop. She filmed a few scenes for the LA spin-off show, but saw herself getting cut out of that gig shortly afterwards. Not giving up on making it big, Brooke went back to work on her second studio album, but it never really took flight due to her issues with Virgin Records. Brooke dropped a couple of singles and projects throughout her career, but lately, she has found a place on reality TV. As we all know, she has become a regular star on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. Now around 2019, Brooke announced her departure from the show. At the time, she married rapper and fellow Love and Hip Hop co-star Marcus. The pair then had a baby, causing Brooke to take time away from the show to focus on motherhood.
My relationship with Marcus is that textbook, the guy met the girl, macked on her, like it was a legit I wanna hump you. Okay, I know you do. All right.
As far as we know, Brooke is still partnered up with Subliminal Entertainment and her producer Deja the Great by extension. The two have a great working relationship that spans more than a decade and a half, with Deja being the one to have pushed Brooke to fly as a solo artist. The singer was and still is no doubt a talented R&B vocalist, but only the future holds what revelations may be left for Brooke Valentine.
Yeah, we could be now. Oh, but now, yeah, now you got the ball, baby. Now, now.
That's it for me, man. It's your boy Ali. What happened to Brooke Valentine in your opinion? Let me know down below. Also, if you have any video requests, be sure to let me know as well. New What Happened to video dropping next week. Don't forget to add me on IG. That's Hip Hop Forever 3 R's. Till next time, peace.